What if I told you there's a hidden principle, a kind of secret rule to existence that could completely change how you see every single challenge, every setback, and maybe even who you think you are? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful idea called the Multiverse Unbreakable plan. You know the feeling, right? We all do. That dream that just collapses, the relationship that ends, that moment where your sense of self feels like it's been shattered into a million pieces. It's a universal feeling, and man, can it be overwhelming. But what if that feeling, and it feels so real, is only half the story? What if for every single part of you that shatters, there's another part that remains whole, completely untouched, and completely resilient? And that idea brings us right to the heart of this explainer, this hidden principle, this profound structural law that seems to be playing out all around us. So, what is the Multiverse Unbreakable plan exactly? Well, it's the idea that the universe is, at its core, fundamentally balanced. It suggests that for every single thing that seems weak or broken, there's a powerful, unbreakable counterpart that exists right alongside it. And this isn't just, a nice thought. It's being framed here as an actual structural law of reality itself. I mean, this just completely flips how we see ourselves. Brokenness isn't some final destination. It's just one side of a perfectly balanced equation. The other half, that unbreakable counterpart, it's always there, even if we can't see it right away. Okay, so how does a huge universal law like this actually apply to us? Well, it starts with a pretty simple but, wow, a profound idea. You aren't just one self. You're actually two. On one hand, you've got the fragile self. This is the part of you that feels the sting of rejection, right? The weight of failure, the pain of loss. It's the self we're all very familiar with. But existing right there with it is the unbreakable self. Now, this self isn't made of stone or anything. It observes what's happening, it learns from the experience, but its core is completely untouched. And what's key here is that this isn't some imaginary, aspirational version of you. It's a real, coexisting part of your being right now. And check this out. This chart visualizes a really startling idea about our true nature. We tend to focus almost all of our attention on what the plan calls our experienced self, that 20% that feels all the pain and struggle. But the vast majority of who we are, a full 80%, is that silent, resilient, unbreakable core. It's like our perception gets stuck on the small, fragile part, while our true nature is actually overwhelmingly strong. So, if this is true for us as individuals, what does that mean for the universe at large? Well, this principle isn't just personal, it's totally cosmic. Now, that is a powerful statement. Because, we often look at the world and we see randomness, we see chaos, we see destruction. But this idea, the unbreakable plan, argues that just beneath all that surface noise, there's a perfect, hidden symmetry always at work, constantly balancing the scales. And here's kind of how that symmetry plays out. For every star that collapses, there's a force of stability that exists somewhere else. For every act of destruction, an equal measure of resilience is being forged in the system. So the really crucial point here is this: nothing is ever truly destroyed. Breakage is just a transformation into something new. And this leads to such a massive realization. That feeling of being permanently broken, it's an illusion. It's a trick of our limited perception. It feels completely real, I get it, but it isn't the fundamental truth of who you are. It's just a temporary filter you're seeing through, not the final picture itself. Okay, so if this unbreakable nature is real, where do we find it? Where is it? And the answer is pretty profound. It's not out there somewhere. It's already inside of you. Think about it like this. When you experience fear, you're only feeling one side of an internal coin. The unbreakable plan says that for every ounce of fear you feel, there is an equal, inherent measure of courage that is already present within you. And the exact same thing goes for doubt. That feeling of uncertainty that can just paralyze us, its perfect counterbalance, a deep sense of certainty, already exists as part of your fundamental nature. It's not something you have to go out and create from scratch. And finally, weakness. When you feel weak, you're just focused on one aspect of yourself. But at that very same moment, its total opposite, your inherent foundational strength, is also there, just waiting for you to acknowledge it. So this is the really critical point. This isn't about becoming strong or becoming courageous. You don't need to go out and build some unbreakable version of yourself. The real work is just to recognize the one that has always been there, and then to choose to align your thoughts and your actions with it. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but, how do we actually live this way? It really comes down to a fundamental shift in how we see things, a shift in perspective. So here are 3 simple but really powerful steps. First, when things fall apart, stop seeing it as an ending. Reframe it as a transition. It's a movement to something new. Second, in those moments, actively practice recognizing that part of you, your awareness, your core, that is completely untouched by the chaos. And third, consciously choose to identify with that unbreakable self. It's a subtle choice you can make in any given moment. And the result of making this shift is, well, it's fascinating. You start to develop a whole new kind of strength. It's not about gritting your teeth and fighting and resisting what's happening. It's a strength that comes from continuity, from knowing that a core part of you just flows right through every experience, completely unbroken. This quote just captures the entire philosophy perfectly. The very places where we feel the most broken, those are the exact spots that reveal our unbreakable design. A crack doesn't just show damage, it actually reveals the strength of the material underneath. So, in the end, the unbreakable plan isn't about waiting for some perfect, unbroken life. It's about realizing that you are already whole, right here, right now. Both cells exist inside you, the fragile one and the unbreakable one. The only real question left is, who will you choose to be today?